So again, what's your name?
Jim Campbell.
All right. And can you tell us a little bit about do you know anything about the Pennsylvania Canal and how that's changed over the years?
Pre-canal days, Penn's Creek, which had to be nothing like what we see now. In the spring of the year, when the winter thaw and the melting and whatever, the creek had to be a lot higher than what we see it now, even in high water. And in the western part of the state, they would build these, what they called arcs, and they were loosely constructed out of lumber, and they would bring barrels of wheat to a grist mill that was in Selinsgrove, and the grain would be ground into flour. They would float down the river or even the canal in later days to Baltimore, which was a big seaport. I think Baltimore was second only to New York. Mm-hmm. And then they would knock these arcs apart for the lumber, sell the lumber, walk back to Selinsgrove, and do it again the next year. And there's a bogus picture that circulates of people digging the canal by hand. Well, there was no photography then. It was really a picture of workmen digging the reservoir, which is above the College Hill. But they used Irish immigrants to do the pick and shovel work. And most people do not realize this, but there was a Catholic church built on the Isle of Cue in the 1820s to service the Irish immigrants. And of course, after the canal was built, they moved on, and there was no Catholic church here until the 1950s. The canal functioned up until, I guess there were canal boats going through Selinsgrove till the turn of the century. And where the bypass is now, around Pine Street, there were boat yards, several boat yards, where they built the canal boats. And then, of course, the canal boats were used on the canal, obviously. And the canal was used to transport goods and services, but also people. The railroads came along, and that was kind of the end of the canal days. But as I said, there was still use of the canals until until the turn of the century, 1900, and a little beyond. And there were enough people in Selinsgrove involved in that they had what they called boatmen's reunions at Rolling Green Park,